Welcome back. Up until now, I've mostly been experimenting with my laser cutter, testing settings and making small trinkets. But today, we're finally making something truly useful. Spring is here, and that means lambing season is just around the corner on our farm. We have lambs arriving soon, and they need a constant supply of minerals and extra feed. The problem? They are surprisingly good at knocking over their feeding bowls. A tipped-over bowl means wasted feed and a mess in the pen. To solve this, I'm designing a custom-fitted stand to hold the feeding basin securely. It needs to be sturdy enough to withstand some nudging from the lambs, but precise enough to hold the bowl perfectly. Now, I'm cutting out the main piece from the plywood. This hole needs to be just the right size so the bowl drops in securely and stays put, even when the lambs get a bit rowdy. Hold the bowl perfectly. Next, I'm cutting the edges of the plywood to the final dimensions. Since this machine is built for heavy-duty metalwork, it's a bit of an overkill for wood. I have to keep the power settings way down, around 10%. Otherwise, this plywood would go up in flames in a heartbeat. You might be wondering why I'm going through all this trouble for a simple mineral bowl. If you've ever worked with lambs, you know they are incredibly curious and, let's face it, a bit chaotic. They don't just eat from these bowls, they jump on them, headbutt them, and try to use them as toys. Using a laser cutter for farm equipment feels like a bit of a superpower. I can design a solution in the morning, cut it with millimeter precision, and have it installed in the barn before lunch. It allows me to create interlocking joints that are strong enough to withstand the weight of a growing lamb, without needing a dozen screws that could eventually rust or come loose. This project is really the proof of concept for me. It's moving away from just making things because I can, to making things because they solve a daily problem on the farm. And honestly, seeing the laser slice through wood like butter, even at just 10% power, is still pretty satisfying to watch. You might have noticed that this video is a bit different from my usual content. Up until now, my channel has mostly been about destruction, lots of shorts, where I use this laser to cut through random objects, just to see what happens. But today marks a bit of a turning point. This is the very first long-form video where I'm actually building something instead of just taking it apart. Transitioning from destructive testing to productive creating has been a fun challenge, especially when the end result is something we'll use every day here on the farm. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Which do you prefer to see? Do you want more of these useful builds and farm projects? Or should I stick to the satisfying destruction and random laser test? Or maybe a mix of both? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see how these lamb feeders hold up, and what else I managed to build, or destroy, with this laser, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. It's been a great exercise in problem solving. Every farm has these little annoyances, like tipping bowls. And being able to design and manufacture a custom solution right here in the workshop is a game changer. I'm already looking around the barn and seeing a dozen other things I could fix with this machine. And before I go, I have one more question for you. Since lambing season is just starting, we're going to have a lot of cute new arrivals here on the farm very soon. Would you like to see the lambs in the upcoming videos? I can show you how they're using these new feeders, or just give you a behind-the-scenes look at spring life here on the farm. If you're a fan of seeing some wool power alongside the laser power, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.